What's going on, guys? I'm back again with another power review. Before we get into it, guys, be sure to drop down and hit the subscribe button. Also, like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what's going on. Today's episode was a lot happened. It wasn't as good as last week's episode. I mean, I kind of already knew that going into it. But I can't really complain too much about the episode. There was a couple scenes in there that just kind of had me emotional, wanting to, fight a character or whatever. But it was a good show. It was a good show. I believe next week is the season finale. We still don't know what Silver is, which is a problem. I just want to know, I just want to know where Silver is, and is he ever coming back? So the show kicks off with Tariq. He's lying in bed. He's watching the news. They are, reporting the incident that happened with Kanan Starks. He killed the 4 officers and he died. And, they just giving a little background on Kanan on the news, saying how, he was killed and his son Sean was murdered. And now they're gonna reopen that investigation to see if they could find anything worthwhile or whatever, which I don't care anything about. Like, let's let Sean rest in peace. Let's not, let's just let him rest in peace. Then as Tariq watches the news, he hears arguing coming from the living room or from wherever. So he gets up and goes to see like what's the argument is about, being nosy as he do. And it is Ghost, it is Tommy, and Tasha. Basically, Tommy's upset because of how everything went down with Kanan. Ghost is also upset with how everything went down with Kanan because they used Tariq to do it, and it could have went a completely different way. And Tasha is just sitting there saying, I didn't know it was going to go down like that. It was just supposed to be, the police were just supposed to come, arrest Kanan. He goes to jail, like he did before. That's it. And Ghost was like, I knew Kanan wasn't going back to jail, which is why I was telling you the whole time this was such a bad idea. So, me, y'all know how I felt about it. I was on Ghost's side because, like, we all know, just like Ghost told Tasha, like, he could have killed Tariq. And I was kind of glad that Tasha didn't kind of sit up there and say what he didn't. Tariq did what needed to be done. It's time to move on. XYZ. I was kind of happy that she didn't get so bigoted. She kind of seen a flaw within her plan, and it just kind of made me happy. I'm not the biggest Tasha fan, but her, admitting that I didn't think of that, or I didn't plan for things to go down that way, it kind of just made me a little happy. Like, maybe next time, you will listen to me, or at least tell me what you got going on, so I can so Ghost can put his input into it. So Tariq comes out, and he basically said, I knew it was going to go down exactly how it was going to go down. I knew Kanan wasn't going to go back to prison. He told me. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I agreed to do it, because I knew that he was going to either die or get away. And Tariq was like, I knew he was going to die, because he told me he was not going back to prison. So Tariq at this point is like, I'm the only person that loved Kanan. I took an L just so all of us could win. And he got bigoted. He got bigoted when he was saying that. All of that, and Tommy said something to him, and then Ghost was like, boy, if you don't lower your voice. And that's like, about time somebody check this fool. Like I'm sick of him running around like he grown, like he's Ghost. He ain't nothing but a teenager. And I'm just sick of him running around like he is, the leader of this big organization. Then, after he says that he took the L for y'all to get a win, Ghost told him, boy, get your ASS in your room. I'm sick of looking at you being disrespectful. I don't know who you think you're talking to. Go to your room. And I was like, you know what? I just want somebody to put hands on that boy. Now, don't get me wrong. I was, somewhat satisfied with Ghost not letting him talk to him like he be talking to Tasha. Because Tasha just basically sit there and take it, if you ask me, and be like, well, Reek, listen, it's okay. I'm like, no. Put him in his place. Tell him to go on about his business, go back to his cave or whatever. Keep him in the child places, which is what Ghost tries to do. So, moving on, we get Ghost is taking Tariq to the train station so he can go back to school. And so, Ghost like, Tariq, I can't believe you did that. That was so stupid. You didn't think X, Y, Z, all of the things that I was thinking. Because Tariq is taking this approach like, I'm alive, ain't he? He didn't kill me. So, and y'all seen how scared he was when Kanan killed that cop right next to the window he was looking out of. That boy was shook. He was shook. He ain't really, listen, he ain't a killer like he think he is. He just not. So anyways, Ghost was like, look, those 4 police officers that's dead, that's blood on your hands, son. You got to live with that. And he's still getting bigoted like, I took care of it. We suffering. Everybody else should suffer. My family falling apart, so should theirs. And Ghost just like, son, that ain't the game. That ain't how it goes. It's one thing, killing other criminals, but when you killing the law, come on, innocent people, man, it's different. So, Ghost asked Tariq, so you think you the man now since you done took down Kanan and, so-called, fixed the problem. And Tariq gonna stand there. Y'all know the saying we've been seeing all over social media, teach me the, mother effing game, Ghost. And I was so happy with Ghost's response. Ghost looked at that dummy and he said, boy, I would rather kill your behind before I teach you the game. And I was just like, cause Ghost know no matter how much Tariq appears to want to be a drug dealer or be a gangster or whatever, he knows that that's not him. He know because Tariq does not think just like Tasha before he make any type of move. He don't know anything about selling drugs. He don't know the first thing about having to, take out connect, take out competition. He don't know how to monopolize the drug industry. I don't know what he learned in school. See, it's different. Up at that little private school, you can sell all the drugs you want to. You want to know why? Because you don't really have a competitor. And the reason you don't have a competitor because you are you are great access to the kids that's on campus. They don't have to go out into the community and find a drug dealer. They can just go to your dorm room. So anyways, Tariq was like, this is who I am. I'm a gangster, and school can't change that. And Ghost was like, man, get your little behind on that train and go back to school. So, of course, as Ghost leaves, thinking Tariq then got on the train and go back to school, Tariq didn't go. He got other plans. So moving on, we get a scene at the DEA office where Valdez works. Agent Blanca is there. They are meeting up about, the whole incident that happened between Kanan, the officers, and Tamika is basically telling Marks and Sachs that, look, I hear you. Angela did something, but why would she, log in to whoever's account, I forget the guy's name, to give the information to Starks? She has no connection to Kanan Starks at all. Why would she do that? And so Tamika was just like, look, she was like, look, because Marks and Sachs, they still pointing the finger at. They still pointing the finger at Angela, and I'm just like, I'm tired of it, man. I'm kind of tired of that storyline, to be honest with you guys. But anyways, Tamika said either Angela is guilty and very smart about covering up her tracks, her dirt, or either y'all just dumb and y'all just trying to frame Angela. And she told him to let it go. Angela is in charge. That's the direction we're going in. And I was like, okay, finally Tamika coming to her senses. All right, so moving on, we get a quick scene at Angela's apartment. James comes over basically to question Angela about why she didn't tell him that her and Tasha and Tariq was gonna frame Kanan. All of that. Wasn't too much there other than him basically saying he can't trust her anymore, and it empty scene. I mean, listen, I ain't really here for it. Angela was just like, I made a decision to save everybody. You know what I'm saying? I could care less about what them two were talking about. Next, we get a scene, Max and Sachs visit Teresi. They asking about dirt on Ghost, St. Patrick, and Tommy. And of course, they also asking, did he get any information about Valdez from Tommy or whatever? Then they pull out these photos and like, look, if you don't give us something, we're going to give these pictures to Vincent and let him know that you snitching. And so, they're trying to put the squeeze on him. They're trying to squeeze him to get something out of him, right? So moving on, Tommy and Keisha, oh my God, this scene just aggravated me so bad. Like, look, I'm okay with Keisha being on the show, but let's kill this Tommy and Keisha thing before it even gets serious, y'all. Like, I'm not here for it. They at Tommy crib. She basically asked me, Tommy, where was he this morning? Like, sit down somewhere. He a drug dealer, he a gangster. Like, I don't know. Maybe, like, because I'm not here for Tommy and Keisha love affair, I could care less about this scene. But anyways, she goes on to tell, to ask Tommy, I thought he told her I was meeting with Ghost and Tasha about the whole Kanan thing, XYZ. And she was like, I thought you said we was done with them after this. And he was just like, yeah, but I had to, clear up some things about Kanan, blase. I could care less. And then, Keisha talking about, she not built to lie to the cops or whatever. So Tommy was like, but you did it. And she was like, yeah, but, I don't want to do it. And Tommy told her straight up, like, look here, baby, if you be with me, you're going to have to do it again. And she just like, I don't like doing it. I don't want to do it. I got so many things going on that I could care less about. Like, anyway, long story short, she was like, if you be honest with me, Tommy, I'll do it. Right? I mean, then she asked, like, you never killed anyone, Tommy. You just, sell drugs, right? Come on, man. Stop. I just have an issue with all these questions, man. Like, just play your part. Be the girlfriend. Spend the money. And, do whatever he asks you to do. Like, if you want to be with Tommy, like, come on, man. I'm just not here for it. Next, we get a meeting with Alicia and Dre. Basically, Alicia is spazzing out because Diego's head was found in the hotel, and she was just like, now we got all these eyes on us, and Dre was like, it ain't nothing I can't fix. And then she was like, what about all these deals we got in place, for this and for that? And Dre was like, they're going to be on hold for right now because we under watch from the FBI, XYZ. So, she got so fed up. She was like, you know what, Dre, man, you ain't no boss. I'm demoting you. I'm putting Cristobal in charge, and you answering him. And Dre was pissed off. Dre thinks he's a boss. He wants to be a boss so bad. This episode, like I said, the episode was good, but it wasn't it didn't really excite me like that. Like, I wasn't on the edge of my seat, but it was a good episode. I just throwing it out there because I'm sure y'all can tell by the tone of voice that I'm talking about. I'm talking with him, excuse me. So next, we get another scene at the DEA office where basically Angela is asking Tamika, can they get an arrest warrant for Alicia? And long story short, Tamika looks back at Marks and Sachs because they still got this agenda against Angela, and she was like, yes, you get me some evidence, we'll move on that. So as Angela moves out of the room, I believe it was Sachs, like, oh, so you're gonna act like, you're not suspicious of her now? She just gonna put her back in charge all of a sudden now? And I'm gotta say, I'm kind of tired. Like, we need to hurry up and nip this in the bud. Either Angela's gonna go down, she gonna snitch, she gonna die, or them two gonna die. Like, at this point, it's just, give me a new storyline. Like, just give me a new storyline. So, moving on, Tommy, we get a scene from Tommy, Teresa, and Sammy. They meet up with Joey. Joey is, I guess, the connect who, makes sure the drugs get into the prison. He got trucks or whatever, and he makes sure that the drugs gets to the jail. And somehow, this time, the truck was stopped, so it messed up the plans. And so Sammy is pissed off. Sammy like, man, look here, man. Sammy just like, man, something ain't right. He started blaming Tommy. He was like, we never had this problem until we started doing business with you. Like, we was good up until we brought you into the business, and now we have these problems. Like, are you a snitch? And so, them two started going back and forth, and of course, Daddy of the Year step in to save his beloved son. I ain't got time for. I'm glad this episode we killed the Teresa storyline. But anyways, moving on. Before I move on, Sammy, before the scene ended, Sammy was like, something just ain't right here. Like he just got a vibe that something is going on that's not right, and he already knows about Teresa's deal with the feds, the snitch on Tommy, and all that good stuff. But he like something isn't right. So moving on, Marks and Sack meets with Proctor about possibly wearing a wire. The next time he meets with James to get James to admit he killed that inmate and guard when he was in Rikers. Listen, Proctor is... I don't know how I feel about Proctor. I'm not going to say he's a smart man, but I'm also not going to say he's dumb. You know what I mean? Because of what transpired later in the episode. I don't know how I feel about Proctor. Last week I wanted him to die. This week I'm kind of leaning toward, well, if he live, it's okay. But anyway, so they basically threatened him like, look, if you don't wear it, cool, fine. But we're gonna back your baby mother up in her custody hearing, and you won't be able to get your daughter. And so that was kind of how they kind of got him to agree to do it. He was like, okay, so hypothetically, if I did it, can I get immunity from anything that he may or may not say? And you guys don't interfere with my custody battle. And they was like, sure, boss, whatever, you got our word. I mean, like I say, last week I wanted Proctor to die. This week, whatever. Moving on, then we get a quick scene with Tate and Ghost. Basically, they just Ghost like, we done reached our goal for the GCP project. We done reached our monetary goal for that. XYZ, wasn't too much in this scene. Then we get another scene where Angela, she goes to visit Dre. Basically, she wants information on Alicia, and I'm just like, ding, ding, ding. This is why she went along with Tasha's idea of framing Kanan, because the motive that she had was getting Dre to flip on Alicia. And I was just like, okay, Valdez, I see what you're doing here. You know, you did have a dog in this fight, because I'm guessing Angela looks at it like, man, if I bring down the Jimenez cartel, they'll get off my back. They'll leave me alone about my relationship with James. And I'm not gonna get too far off subject. But anyway, so she let him know. She was like, look, you know as well as I know that you're a dead man walking or in jail. So your best bet is to help me out. I give you what is it called when they relocate you, give you a new name, whatever it's called. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And so Dre was like, you know what? I don't know who you is coming here and talking all that big talk. I can ruin you and James right now. And she said, yeah, you can, but you will lose your life. And so, that scene kind of pretty much ended there. Wasn't too much there. Then we moving on. We get another scene with Tommy and his daddy. They meeting up in Tommy drug warehouse where he keeps all of his drugs. And he got a lot of them. I'm talking about Tommy got a warehouse full of drugs. And I'm just asking myself, I don't know who his plug is, but if he not moving any of this weight, well, he is not, because he got the little business where he's smuggling stuff in the jail. So never mind, I keep that thought to myself. So, basically Tommy telling Teresa about his connect and how crazy he is, how, I forget what ethnicity group he said he was. He was like, they eat people and all of that. Teresa don't believe him, yada, yada, yada. So then finally Ghost pops up. He want to talk to Tommy just to make sure that, they good, especially with everything that just went down. So he asked Tommy, like, can I holler at you for a second alone? And Tommy's like, man, we ain't doing this again. Like, Tommy is getting on my nerves with wanting to have a daddy. Like, bro, you in your mid-30s, I assume, and you want to have a daddy this bad. It's sad. And I understand y'all got more of a bond because both of y'all criminals, y'all like to kill people, X, Y, Z, but come on, Tommy, man, let's do better. So Teresa was like, nah, it's okay, I got to go see Connie or whatever. So basically, Ghost was like, how do you know you can trust him? You can't trust him. And so, Ghost was like, you can't really, you don't really know who a person is if you're so close to him because you can't see past that. So, Tommy tell Ghost like, yeah, just like you. I can't trust you, brother. So, Tommy was like, I got product to move, and you need to worry about Tariq because he was my son, and Ghost shut it down. Tommy know not to play with Ghost because when Ghost said, but he ain't, he mine. Tommy let it go. Tommy let it go. Now, I was wishing Tommy went a little further because somebody need to give the St. Patrick some parenting tools, some parenting tips on how to deal with Tariq, starting with whooping his ass. Because, that little rug is out of control. So, anyways, Ghost tell him to watch Teresi. You can't really trust him, and then Tommy goes to tell Ghost that, man, he been helping me smuggle drugs in jail. All of this and all of that, and Ghost was like, man, I can't believe you working with him. You don't know if you trust him. And Ghost said, like, look, when it all starts coming down, and it's gonna come down, remember to leave your brother's name out of it. And Tommy was like, man, I'd be happy if I never have to say your name again in my life. And I'm just like, first of all, why is Tommy so hurt now? Like, it's kind of as if ever since Teresi's gotten out and, he's doing his little digging for the feds, Teresi has been driving, a divide between Ghost and Tommy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Ghost do what Ghost do, but he always done that. And Tommy just kind of always fell in line and was like, Ghost the brains, he know what he doing, if he doing it, even if he don't tell nobody. But now, it's a lot of questioning going on. And I believe all the questioning towards Ghost is because Teresi is putting a lot of doubt in Tommy's mind. So anyways, moving on, we get a quick scene between Sammy and Teresi. They at Teresi's house, and basically Sammy is letting Teresi know, like, look, ever since we started doing business with Tommy, it's been fishy. We get a truck stop. That never happened in 20 years of us doing this. And he told Teresi, like, you need to hurry up and turn him in. And so I'm just like, oh, yeah. Like, yeah, Teresi, like, Daddy, what you gonna do? When are you gonna turn the son in? So anyway, Teresi was like, you right, I am. I'm gonna call those feds, give them the drop about Tommy and St. Patrick ordering the hit on the guard inside and all of that, blase. And so that scene pretty much ended with Samuel was like, good, because I thought she was getting soft, my man. And Teresi was looking like, I am. So anyways, moving on, Cristobal and Dre meets up. Basically, quick meeting. Chris was like, look, Dre, I ain't trying to step on your toes. I didn't ask for this promotion. She gave it to me, and Dre was like, it's cool, you know what I'm saying? I know how to follow orders, you know what I'm saying? XYZ. And Cristobal was like, yeah, I also think Alicia want to give me a little bit of that booty. And that was pretty much that. Moving on, we get a scene at Vincent's restaurant. Tariq comes in. Tariq is trying to be a new distro for Vincent. And I'm just like, this boy, he making money moves, but don't know how to make them. Like, you have no idea what you're doing. So Vincent agrees to give Tariq one chance. And if it go good, we'll see if we can do it again. And so before Tariq leaves, he asks and do he know how he can get a fake ID? And I'm just like, what do this young man need with a fake ID? Like, is he trying to go to the club or leave the club? Like, what is he trying to do with a fake ID? So anyways, we get a scene. Angela is on her way home and Dre pops up. Basically, Dre just coming to say, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to flip on Alicia. He tells Angela about the drop-off that's happening tonight. And I think all of this stems from he's upset at Alicia because she demoted him and put Cristobal in charge. And this way, if Alicia get arrested and even Cristobal get arrested, or maybe not Cristobal get arrested, because he had no way of knowing Cristobal would get arrested as well, but it'll make him the leader of the organization. And that's the only thing I can think of as to why he would actually flip on Alicia and the Jimenez cartel, because he wants to be the leader of the organization. So anyways, Next scene, Cristobal meets up with Alicia in a hotel room. They just talking about Dre. Cristobal was like, I think Dre is cool. You know, he's not really tripping. Alicia says he seems like the type that like revenge. And Chris was like, nah, I think Dre is afraid of you. And this thing, you know, she asked, well, are you afraid of me? He said, nah, baby, I ain't afraid of you. I want you. So, you know, they started kissing and all of this other kind of stuff. And I'm just like, uh-oh, Cristobal about to get them draws, y'all. And as he was kissing her, I just couldn't notice how stiff and uncomfortable he was looking, you know, holding a woman, which got me wondering about Cristobal. I mean, he just looked very stiff and uncomfortable, and, you know, like he couldn't get into it. But anyway, so the phone rings and interrupts him getting some. She picks up the phone after he begs her not to. No, she just kept saying hello, 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 and no one answered. Then finally, whoever was on the other line, like, you know, hung up. The FBI knocked the door in. Angela comes in. Oh, we got you now, Trick. You gonna rot in jail for the rest of your life. Your connect up in D.C. gave us the okay, blase, blase. And I was like, that was an interesting flip in the, in the show, because I didn't see that happening that fast. Like, literally the scene right before this, we got Dre talking to Angela about the drop, and then we get a very quick scene of Angela acting on. I was like, okay, whatever. So, moving on, we at the DEA. The office is celebrating Angela's big bust of Alicia, and she notices that Marks and Sachs are not at the party. They are leaving out of whichever one of them office. So Angela did exactly what Angela does. She sneaks in to snoop around to see what she can find, and she finds out that Teresa is their confident informant, and she takes pictures of the pictures that they have of them and Teresa. And I'm just like, two things were going through my mind. I was like, Angela, do what you gotta do. That's number one. And number two, the way they was filming it made me think that they were recording her. So I was like, I was a little iffy about that. Like, dang, girl, you might be getting recorded. You risking it all right now. So anyways, moving on. Angela called Marks to her office, and she's demanding to know who is their snitch. And he just comes out and tells her, it's Teresa, Tommy's father, blase, blase. So that was a quick scene. And I'm just like, Angela, you ain't have to do that. You didn't. You thinking too much at this point. You know you got the pictures. Just do what you gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So next, we get a scene at Teresa home. Max and Sack calls him about getting some dirt on Tommy and James. And this scene was kind of crazy to me because Teresa really is. Look, I'm hard on Teresa, but it seems as though he has a genuine connection and starting to really love Tommy, because he's flipping. He's giving them information, but all of the information that he's giving them is on James, is on Ghost. He's basically saying James set the hit up. James had me to kill this guy. Tommy had nothing to do with it. The whole time Tommy was letting me know, like, don't get caught up with James. He's sneaky, X, Y, Z. And as he's talking to the feds, Sammy is standing there listening to the whole thing, and Sammy just sitting there with a look on his face like, I can't believe you. You supposed to be snitching on both of them, and you just snitching on Ghost to save Tommy. So as he hangs up the phone, he calls him out. Like, you ain't nothing but a little bitch. And I was just like, he is. Like he is. And so he was like, you had a gun to my head. You was about to shoot me for this sucker. At least at least that's what I thought. And so them two get into it, and next thing you know, Tommy pops up. And I'm thinking to myself, how's everybody coming in this man's house without knocking or ringing a doorbell? Like, is that what Italians do? Just come on in willy-nilly. You come to my house like that, you better knock or ring the doorbell. Like, you're just not gonna walk up in here. But anyway, Tommy pops up, and Sammy was so pissed off, he was about to tell Tommy that your daddy is a snitch. and so Teresi kills him and basically tells Tommy, like, this Sammy was the snitch in our operation. He's the reason that our truck got stopped, XYZ. And Tommy just looking like, what? Like, your best friend of 50 years? And long story short, Teresi asked him, you know what I'm saying, to help him get rid of the body and all of that good stuff. So moving on, Ghost and, well, not Ghost, James and Angela meets up at Truth, and she's there to tell James that Teresi is the Fed CI, that he's snitching, and that he needs to tell Tommy. That was basically it. And I was just like, about time we getting somewhere with this Teresi storyline, because for a few episodes, it was just kind of like we wasn't getting that. Like, it was just, we were trying to write him in, and I just wasn't happy with it. So moving on, Ghost shows up to Vincent's hotel, and he basically tells Vincent, like, Teresi is a snitch, and he could be snitching on me as well as you. Ever since you kicked him out the organization, you don't know, so it's best if we handle this. So Vincent was like, oh, so you want us to handle this so he can't reveal that you Ghost. And Ghost said, yeah, but also you don't know if he's snitching on you too. So he was like, okay, so then Ghost addressed the situation. He was like, I know Kanan told you that I was responsible for the shootout that got Nicholas shot, but I wasn't. Right? He cleared that up real quick. So then Ghost said, look, you tell Tommy, and Tommy handled the situation for the both of us. And he was like, why can't you tell him? And Ghost was just honest. He was like, right now, me and Tommy's relationship is on the rocks. Like, we ain't in the best place. So, and then, like, if you tell him, you can also bribe him, saying if he do it, he can be the distro again and connect again. And he'll solve this problem for the both of us. And I'm just like, finally, we gonna get Teresi killed. Finally. So moving on, Proctor, Marks, and Sachs meet up before Proctor goes to meet up with James. They giving him the wire and basically just telling him the questions that they want him to ask and all of this. And I ain't here for it, because at this very moment I was thinking, is Proctor really about to switch sides? He can die again. He can die right now. So moving on, Proctor goes to meet with James. He's nervous. His leg is shaking. As you guys seen. So James talking to him, and Proctor goes on to tell James that he's no longer his client, and goes laughing like, what you mean? He was like, well, since I got my law license back, I haven't received any payments from you, so therefore I'm not your lawyer anymore. And I'm just saying to myself, this dude is really about to switch up teams and snitch. So James ended up was like, oh, so you want to check, blase. Then somehow or another, James ended up calling him family, saying we're family. You know, we family. We've been through a lot together. You know, I really appreciate you, all that good stuff. So that kind of changed Proctor's way of thinking. Like, man, he does consider me family. Like, he is loyal to me. So Proctor writes on a napkin, let Ghost know that he's wearing a wire. Ask him about the killing in jail, about Mike Sandoval, whatever the guy's name, and then Ghost denies everything. He looking like, I appreciate the heads up, but the fact that you wearing a wire is just disloyal right now, right? At least that's what I thought. So then he go with the Angela questions, like, who else would have known that Mike was in jail at the time? And could Angela know? And Ghost turned and looked at him like, boy, if you don't sit your behind down somewhere trying to frame my woman, Ghost, listen, look, I'm gonna just kill this. Ghost is not having Angela being framed for nothing that he did at all. He just not. So after he shut down the Angela question, he turns the wire off, and Ghost grabbed that young man, had him, you know, jacked him up over the little rail. And like, boy, what, like, he was like, so this what we doing? This what we doing? You wearing a wire? You trying to get me to roll on Angela? Like, nigga, I mean, boy, what's wrong with you? Do you want to die? And the only thing I could think of in this scene was, dang, man, nobody is really Team Angela except for Ghost and Al. Because I like Angela. So he ends up telling Ghost, man, look, either you turn on Angela or you going to go to jail for life. Because they going to get her to flip on you. Right? So moving on, Tommy goes to meet with Vincent. I guess Vincent reached out to him, let him know he want to talk to him. And Tommy thinks it's about him being his supplier again. And Vincent just go ahead and get Tommy news. Your daddy a snitch. Shows Tommy the pictures, and Tommy is heartbroken. He don't want to believe it. He's denying it. He's basically saying, "Who told you this?" Tommy in disbelief. And even still, while he's in disbelief, he's identifying officers on feds on the that's in the pictures that he's seen before that he knows. And I'm just like, Tommy, just give it up. Your daddy is a snitch. Like, come on. So like I said, he's heartbroken. And Tommy goes as far as to him, you know, and cause Vince was like, look, you got to kill him. You got to do it for the family. And so Tommy goes to say, we ain't family. Teresa is my family. He's my daddy. And so Vincent said, well, it ain't a request. It's an order. So moving on, we get a quick scene. Tariq goes to pick up Kanan ashes. Now we know why he wanted the fake ID. He going to pick up his dad's ashes. He really loved Kanan, y'all. I'm surprised he ain't. The only thing the more I can ask about Tariq and Kanan's storyline is, you know, let him shed a tear for losing Kanan the way he did, and I'll like feel a different type of ways about it, I think. I don't think he's cried yet. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, but maybe that's just me. But anyways, moving on. We get a scene with Tommy and Teresa riding on the way to the hospital to see Teresa's wife, Connie, I believe is her name. And Tommy brings it up, like, Pop, you ain't never really told me how you got out of jail. So Teresa gives him this BS telling about some other dirty detective working my cases. He was framing me and a lot of other folks. And Tommy tell him, like, look, I looked into it and it don't check out. Hey. And so Teresa say, well, who you been talking to? And Tommy said, the question is, who have you been talking to? So finally Teresa is uneasy. He knows that Tommy knows. He knows. And so Tommy goes on to tell a story about, you see this ring that's around my neck? It belonged to a person I once loved and trusted. But as soon as they switched up on me, I killed them. I'm just like, poor Holly. Holly got a shout out this episode, by the way, with just that little quick story. So he drops Teresa off, and Teresa goes in to see Connie. And I got the feeling that once Teresa got out of the car, he knew that this was going to be his last time seeing Connie, just by the look on his face. Like, he knew Tommy was going to kill him, or at least do something to him, you know? So then we get a quick scene on the inside with Teresa and Connie. And so Teresa like, baby, the best thing that ever happened to me in my life was me marrying you. And so she seen right through that BS. She said, what's wrong, Tony? Does Tommy know? And he said, yeah, Tommy know. And so she was like, oh my God. You know, she's kind of worked up as much as she could be, giving her conditions. And he was like, Tommy's not going to, kill me. I got it under control. I'm not going to turn Tommy in. I got a plan. So he left it at that. And so she was kind of calm. She calmed down. And he was like, I'll see you tomorrow. So as Teresa is leaving out, I just got this feeling that the way he was looking in the hallway and he looked at the exit sign, I was just thinking like maybe he was thinking about ditching town. Like just running away and ditching town. That's what I was thinking. But little did I know, Tommy was still outside waiting on him. So Tommy in the car crying. He heartbroken that he didn't find out that the daddy he beloved so much is a snitch. So anyways, Teresa goes, get in the car, asks Tommy can he take him to Vincent, and Tommy was just like, I'm taking you home. And so Teresa is just like, man, once Vincent finds out, he's not gonna be happy. And Tommy like, I ain't worried about that. I got to take care of, you know what I'm saying? What I got to take care of. He's like, I'm taking you home, and it's best that you stop talking. And I was like, about time, Tommy. Like, let's go and end this storyline right now. So finally, we get to Tony's house. Teresa goes get a bag. It got some money in it, and he notices a gun in it. And I just couldn't help thinking to myself that Teresa is about to turn around, shoot at Tommy, and try to live to fight another day, right? But he didn't. He zipped the bag up and was like, all right, buddy, we got to go, blah, blah, blah. And Tommy was like, we ain't going nowhere. He pulled out his little 380, shot him a few times, you know what I'm saying? Like, capiche, kapow. And finally, we get rid of the Tony Caressa storyline with him dying. About damn time. So then, Tommy takes Teresa to his grave. You know, the one he previously, the spot he picked out in the nice graveyard. You know, what he's gonna be, what Connie's gonna be. He took him there and left him. So, I was just thinking to myself, man, maybe now that Teresa is dead, Tommy found out everything and he killed him, maybe this will fix Ghost and Tommy's relationship. That's the only thing I was thinking about that time, because I'm tired of these two beefing, or at least Tommy beefing with Ghost, right? So Tommy seems to arrive at someone's home, right? And Keisha giving him a call, straight to voicemail, thank you, we ain't got time for her. So he goes upstairs, and guess who home with? He's at his mother's house. He goes to cry to his mama, the same woman he was dissing and ditching for his so-called daddy. She was telling him the whole time, your daddy ain't no good. Don't trust him, don't believe him. He went to go cry in her arms and said, Mom, you was right, and I killed him. And she said, baby, you did the right thing. She said exactly what all of us wanted to say, like, baby, you did the right thing. Then we get a final scene back at the DEA office where Tamika brings Valdez into an office where they basically have outlined the whole connection between her, James, and everybody else. And it was like, we're charging you with conspiracy, whatever it's called, an accomplice to Teresa's murder, you know, and Marks goes to tell her, yeah, once I told you that it was Tony Teresa, that was a trap, now he's dead, XYZ, and Angela kind of got egg on her face. Which, look, I'm going to tell y'all something. I got faith in Angela. They not going to bring Angela down because, for one, this is weak. This is very, very weak. Reason being is Teresa has been out of jail for who knows how long. That's number one. He could have made all sorts of enemies, or he did jump back into the game that they don't even know about. He's back to selling, he was back to selling drugs with Tommy, XYZ. And number two, they don't even know who killed Tony Teresa. So it's like, don't get me, I understand what they're trying to do, but let's be realistic here. Like, let's just at least threaten her. So they telling her they gonna charge her, and Blanca's sitting over there in the corner getting on my nerves with a smirk on her face, and they was like, we want to know everything about James St. Patrick, aka Ghost. And I'm just like, she ain't gonna tell y'all nothing. She ride or die. But even if she not ride or die, y'all don't have nothing on her but a whole bunch of conspiracy theorists, two jealous men that want to be her, that want to be in her position, obsessed New York police officer in Blanca who gets on everybody, and they're like, I see right now they're gonna write her into this show. I see right now. Now, I'm Team Angela, and I know a lot of y'all don't like that, but the reason I'm Team Angela is because, she knows. I felt like ever since she found out that James was Ghost, she been doing whatever she can to help, even when she played dumb like she wasn't. This is what I believe now. I like Angela. She's also helped Tasha and Tariq get off their little drama and all of that. I think she's gonna find a way out. Matter of fact, I know she's gonna find a way out of it because she's a smart woman and she's dealing with two idiots that just want to see her in jail. But anyways, that's all I have, guys. I believe next week is the season finale, so it should be awesome. It should be awesome. And I hope I am more energetic with the episode. Anyways, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Also, share and leave me a comment. Let me know what's going on. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.